Yo, yo, yo. Okay, let's get into another trade recap. I haven't done one of these in a while. I think I'm gonna, well, I don't think, I'm gonna definitely start doing this way more often. I don't know why I haven't. So, just kind of a little update with what's been going on with me and my trading. Obviously, I'm not on Top Step anymore. What ended up happening, that account I passed, I ended up getting two payouts from it. And then I blew the account, so now I am on Trade C, trying to pass this account, get another payout just so I know, like, okay, I can actually do it twice. It wasn't just, oh, I passed one account and then got lucky on two payouts. If I pass this account and I'm able to get a payout, I'm going to scale into trading a lot. I'm going to start trying to get max allocated on some platform and then hopefully get a payout with max allocation, which would be $10,000. And then kind of go from there. See what my career takes me to. So it's kind of the game plan, just documenting my journey essentially. So then hopefully one day I can look back on this, show people that it's possible. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get into the trade I ended up taking. I know it says I only made $116. However, I was down on this account about 1,000. So I ended up actually making like 12 or 1,300 today. So yeah, hopefully, because I'm trying to size a little bit heavier just so I can pass this relatively quickly. I don't want to do how I was trading that first account that I passed, where I was taking kind of like, I don't want to say low risk, but like medium risk trades, and kind of slowly pass it over like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm trying to kind of pass this pretty quickly so I can get back on funded and start making some good money. So, anyways, without further ado, um, what was my bias coming into the day? So obviously we took out, I don't know, some previous day low that was also kind of in this big daily for value gap. And then we were kind of rejecting off of it. However, over here, I saw we were pretty close to previous day high. Obviously, like, okay, this is the next trading day, but this was the day I was trading. So I was kind of bullish, but also we swept out this high and we're rejecting this 4 hour gap, which it looks like we still held. So, yeah. So kind of that was my thought process. Like, all right, we have one of two options. We can either sweep this 730 high and take out previous day highs and go lower, or sweep this, go lower, and then potentially trade higher to previous day high. That was kind of my scenarios. So what ended up happening, kind of like I was thinking, we took out pre-market high, the 730 high here. When market opened, right here, we rejected, because also another thing I saw was kind of all this LR, low resistance liquidity, that was being built up. So I also saw, like, okay, there is this potential that we kind of start running some of these lows to before we go higher to previous day high. But so that was also another reason why I was potentially seeing shorts before longs played out. Because ultimately, obviously, we're going to take out previous day high. It's just kind of a matter of timing. So yeah. So anyways, took this out, got a beautiful 2 minute. I wasn't on the chart at this time, so I didn't see this trade. I couldn't have taken it. However, this was a this was a great trade to have been able to take. And you could have held too, especially because the 930 wick was not yet manipulated. So this was a good trade. Definitely, I think A plus. The trade I ended up taking was right. just making sure. So as you saw, there was that 30-minute fair value gap right here, as well as this intermediate low held within this 15-minute gap. So pretty good area that price could potentially bounce off of. And since we came, let me delete some of these lines. Since we came this close to previous day high, obviously there was a good possibility we reject this to head higher. This was kind of my overall target, but I obviously did not hold all the way. What I ended up doing was, just because price already kind of made a pretty big move already, this is what I've kind of learned in my career and kind of how I've tried to adapt. If price already makes such a drastic move, or oops, this was my entry down here. If price already makes such a drastic move, kind of like it did right here, right? We got this Judas swing to go lower almost 200 points, or 250 points. It would have to be a really high volatility day to see price rip another 250, 300, and if we continued 400 points higher. So on days like that, just take your low hanging fruit. We had this LRLR being built up, especially also how we inversed this gap here and we still went lower. That was kind of an indication to me that buyers potentially wanted to reverse the market, but it just didn't have enough volatility to do so. So when we got this sweep, there was also an SMT on the lower time frame here when we took this out. And this is like really getting into the nitty gritty of trading, but yeah, from this low here to this low, it was a SMT. So that also kind of added to my conviction. And then when we got this kind of pretty big bullish candle after, I kind of assumed that price wanted to go higher, at least to this high, where I could have gone break even and been perfectly fine with getting tapped out at break even. If not, hold till this high, this little internal high, this low hanging fruit. And yeah, that was my idea. Obviously, I'm not going to show executions and shit just because this is for me, right? Like, the only person I'm lying to would be myself. So it just doesn't really matter. Whenever I actually build up people that follow and care, obviously I'm going to be as transparent as possible. But until then, this is strictly documentation purposes for me to look back on. So yeah, that was my trade. Obviously, kind of lucky that I sold here, because that was kind of the high of the move. But regardless, it would have been break even. I count those as not a win, but not a loss. It's still, I'm following my rules, and that's what kind of matters the most. So anyways, that's trade recap. Peace. I'm gonna post more. I will see y'all tomorrow.